This is Andy with Quality Stocks. Today's Friday, September 24th, 2010. Today we're going to take a look at ARNA Pharmaceuticals. It's a NASDAQ Global Market stock, trades under ticker ARNA. We're just looking at this as a potential bounce play based on the candle yesterday. I didn't follow the story on this, being that it's a biotech. I'm assuming that this was a FDA failure or some sort of bad news on one of their drugs. Just a massive drop from up here around $7 all the way down to $1.50 it hit yesterday. Low of $1.52. Volume is still big, almost 20 million shares. We can take a quick look at the lower indicators, but we're not going to get a whole lot from them at this point because it's just nothing but straight downhill. See, we're getting the slightest hint, perhaps, of a MACD, of this just big separation away from the signal line. A little bit of an uptick here the last day. MFI heavily into oversold. We're going to look for that cross now of the 7 through the 14 and 21. Accumulation distribution shows a turn yesterday, so it did have some decent buying pressure. Not going to get much from the taking money flow, same kind of thing. The CCI did try and hop up the last few days. We're looking at a break of negative 100. Full Stowe is, of course, fully bottomed at this point. Trix is just, it's too slow of an indicator. We're not going to get very much from that for this play. 7 RSI just was completely buried all the way down around 6 or 7. Starting to make a turn now. Wanted to just bring this chart up because it does have a possibility of a nice bounce. Those two candles right there are called a piercing line. The stock price gapped down in the morning, dipped even a little bit lower, and then the bulls came in. There's some buying that came in. Apparently people saw this as a nice buying opportunity. There's a lot of people out there that play what they'll call tramp plays, dead cat bounce plays, all different sorts of things. And they'll look for buying to start to come in. And when the buying starts to come in, they'll hop in to try and catch this for a quick ride because profits can come relatively quickly at this level. Obviously, sometimes when you're down below $1 or even under a penny, the amount of percentage gains can be huge. But even at this point, it's still relatively decent gains. Even with the gap down yesterday, point being is the people that did catch it at the bottom down around $1.50. It closed at $1.70. So they're up over 10% already just from that. So today we're going to look for more volume to come into this. And we're going to look for this to try and close up, confirm this piercing line. Now, the important thing to remember is a lot of times these will bounce and they'll bounce fast, but then they'll come right back down. And if this company, if ARNA does have indeed some integrity and strength to their overall corporate structure, which again, this is not, I don't know anything fundamentally about them. If this was just bad news, there's other things that it can do for this company. It will rebound eventually. But it'll come up, it'll make a strong move off the bounce, then the bounce players will be getting out, the stock will retrace some, and you'll look for it to make a higher low, and then try to make a channel upward as overall the stock tries to rebound. But today this is basically looking at this primarily as a piercing line, which is a relatively strong reversal pattern. Always you only want to see confirmation, which means you want to see another up day today, you want to see the stock price close higher than it did. You'd like to see some volume come back in to show some real buying coming in. But I just want to make sure people are aware of don't be fooled by certain things because some of this is just technical traders that are jumping into it and playing the bounce, and they will be getting back out and taking their profits. So you have to trade smart on them. But these are always very interesting plays. They're very popular plays, and this is a nice pattern for it right here. A lot of times you'll look for a doji on the bottom, a gap down doji, and you look for what's called a morning star pattern. That's a 3-day candle pattern. But as far as 2-day reversal patterns, this piercing line is pretty strong. So these are the kind of things that we'll be looking for. You'd really have to scale it in to short-term charts to get a true look at resistance. But you can see that there is some right through here just in these last 3 days. So when if you zoomed into a short-term chart, it would look something along these lines right through here. Only we have a little bit of an uptrend coming to it because of this day today, where the latter part of it will be trending up. So it's definitely going to see a resistance level right there around where the high of the day yesterday, which was $1.77. So let's look for that $1.77, $1.80 area as a little bit of resistance. And then it should move relatively smoothly from there for at least a little while. Again, though, be aware of what's going on with this and how people trade it and play it. Again, this is merely only my interpretation of the ARNA chart. This is Andy with Quality Stocks. Thank you and trade smart.